Hello again, everyone. Edwin Leonard back once again. In this YouTube astrological segment, I'm going to be dissertating and talking about the natal contest winner number 2, Richmen1, his or her it's her son's natal chart that I'm going to be continuing on the natal chart overview. And the first thing I want to get with is on Mercury is in the 12th house and intercepted. This is in its accidental fall detriment, and being the fact that it is in that placement and it's intercepted, it shows that communication may be suppressed to some degree. There may at times he may have difficulty articulating his thoughts, but at the same time can be imaginative, have very creative thinking, and be able to do strong thinking more in solitude and seclusion. It's possible he could be maybe somewhat impressionable to his or her, to his environment. And so it's important for him to be around, maybe more so than the average person, to be around the right people. Now, in his chart, the 6th and 12th houses are intercepted, and this could indicate there might be some difficulty in finding equilibrium and balance between the spiritual life and the mundane or work life for him. And it's basically about trying to become cognizant of when to see the overall picture and when to be punctilious with details. And so an example can be perhaps incorporating the two, such as like maybe metaphysical or spiritual work. That would be one way of maybe amalgamating the two houses so they kind of work hand in hand, and help with the fact that it's help the interception out a little bit, so to speak. Next thing I want to get with is that he has the Mars in Aries in the 1st house, and this is obviously strong placement because they're in their dignity by house and sign, and could show very exorbitant, aggressive and assertive energy. That would probably be an understatement with this placement, and it could be very sometime with this placement in Aries, like some other ones, could be somewhat easily provoked, but not vindictive and not one to be vengeful or hold a grudge. And this could show that a lot of energy is expended on things of a competitive sport nature, and could very well put a lot of energy into sports and just things that are where the physical body is being put to use, even such as, like I said, sports and working out and exercising in general. Next thing is a very tight opposition between Mars and the Moon, and this aspect can make him somewhat highly strung, and as far as and excitable, the relationships can sometimes be acrimonious and contentious due to the fact of the exasperation caused by having such a tight, well, not just a tight aspect, but just the fact that it's opposition to each other. And this could be this could indicate, I'm just going by the what this means, and I'm not saying he definitely has problems this way, but it does indicate there can be some discrepancies with the mother, maybe at least at times, and because the emotional needs are in conflict with the aggressive energy, that's what causes some of the perhaps emotional turmoil with this placement. One way to get around, resolve this to some degree, or at least modify this, is to maybe apply the energy into something, where his energy is putting into constructive use, such as what I've talked about before with having the strong Aries placements into some sports or some physical exercise, for example. Now, The majority of his planets are in the 10th, 11th, and 12th houses, which I consider that the fourth quadrant, or section, I guess you could say. A quadrant is a section comprised of three houses in a natal horoscope, and this could indicate that there's a lot of emphasis on philanthropic and selfless activities. He may be strongly interested in doing things in groups and organizations rather than by himself. On the negative side, he may lack maybe some pragmatism, practicality to maybe some degree, and the last but not least I want to get with is that he has a first house stellium in Aries / Taurus, and I consider it a stellium. Some people don't, because it's not all in the same sign. Some people think a stellium is four planets in the same sign, but I consider it a stellium. They're tightly bunched. It follows a series. Each planet follows a series of conjunction to the other, and this could indicate that much energy may be expended on first house matters, such as his first impression on others, his physical body, his appearance, and the energy, which is Mars, the philosophical nature, which is Jupiter, and the part that's responsible, the responsibility side of him, are all strongly integrated, and he comes across as far as how he comes across to others, and two of the three planets in Taurus, so this has a stronger Taurus influence. So this energy is going to be somewhat deliberate and methodical, but at the same time there is one planet in Aries. The Mars in Aries is the first planet in the stellium, and there's going to be a little bit of an Aries flavoring mixed in, but 2 out of 3 are in Taurus. So anyway, well, that'll conclude this YouTube astrological segment for the Natal Chart winner, number 2's Natal Chart overview. His or her son, actually, the Richmen1's son. And stay tuned next time, where I'll be continuing my series with the North Node in the houses. 2 things I want to get with you on before I head out. Firstly, the stars may impel but do not compel. And secondly, never isolate any single astrological element, aspect, planetary placement, position, configuration, influence, or what have you, and make an analysis on a person, astrologically speaking, based on this alone, because a person astrologically is the sum of all their components in their natal chart, and not just one. Until next time, people, stay well.